I've been asked about Charleston White, and I'll say it like this. Charleston White is not a feature film. He's the movie of the week. Let's get into some of this straight game.
Yeah. Blackjack. Life is like a game of cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY, Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button as it pushes the content out to more potential subscribers, as well as the people who have already subscribed to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yourself, please do so. It's very much appreciated. And like I always say, if this is your first time viewing the channel and you would like to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, please do me a favor and hit the bell notification right below this video. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a question from one of my viewers, and the question is, DELRAY, what do you think about Charleston White? That's a very, very, very good question, right? I think that Charleston White is not a feature film. He's the movie of the week. And what I mean by that, movies of the week, or should I say the movie of the week, is usually something that's promoted, given its time, and then the interest in that movie is soon lost based on the continued narrative and disrespect that's going on in regards to Charleston White. I understand that he's very passionate, and some of the things I agree with that he's saying in regards to the hypocrisy on which some people stand on 1 minute but then don't stand on the next minute. But I feel like that could be articulated a little bit better than it is. Now, the niggas, the bitches, all of the things that he says, those words are used and highly admired by his white viewers, right? Those words are used to be incendiary, from a shocking perspective, I feel like personally certain things are off limits, as well as like kids and things like that. Like he's talked about Dwayne Wade's child, T.I., Boosie, their children. You know what I mean? I feel like things like that never should be discussed from that perspective. Even if the child says something to you or mentions your name in some kind of what you would feel like disrespectful, man, I wouldn't respond. Not to that. And because you always have to be the adult in the situation from that perspective. And so I think, this movie of the week thing that's going on right now, where it's asked of him, what do you think about, Black Lives Matter? And he goes in on the three, he don't call them lesbians or whatever, the three G bitches, if you will. I'm gonna say it like that, right? And so, that right there is, that's incendiary in itself. When you talk about that, he really didn't talk about any of the substantive nature, or get into anything substantive about why he wouldn't follow Black Lives Matter. So once again, when he's asked these questions, right, he picks up on the thing that could be the most controversial, and people like that. That's the movie of the week. That's the movie of the week thing, whatever it is, let me ask Charleston, because he gonna have something crazy to say, from that perspective. And so, 1 minute he wants to be on the law enforcement side of telling and snitching, you know what I mean? Because, if he says that, you threaten him or he feels scared or whatever, I don't know if there's any proof been handed down in regards to that. 1 minute he wants to be on the law enforcement side. I'm telling on you niggas and X, Y, and Z, right? And then the next minute, he wants to be on the side of the gangsters. I hang out with killers. So he's straddling the fence, trying not to hit the divider, if you will, right? So I don't know if people are really picking up on what it is that's going on with the brother Charleston White. And like I said, some of the stuff that he says is very relevant, but I think that his delivery is kind of incendiary and crass for a reason, because that's what people like. And also, I would say that he's saying a lot of things that people have been thinking but can't say. And the reason why they can't say it is because of business relationships and things that would normally be shunned upon, as we see in dealing with Kanye West. Charleston White can say what Kanye West said and not suffer anything. But as we see, J.P. Morgan just basically disassociated themselves with Kanye West. They saying based on whatever reason, Twitter and Instagram, saying that he made anti-Semitic remarks and so on and so forth. See, Charleston White could get away with that and it not be a problem. But they also, from what I understand, basically shut down Charleston White's YouTube account from that perspective. But it hasn't stopped. YouTube was from wanting him to be on their platform based on the fact that they know that they're going to get some views from what Charleston White has to say. So I think ultimately, when we think about Charleston White, I think he's a detriment to the black community. I think he's a detriment to the struggle because he doesn't offer anything substantive, and he's only a guy that comes on and criticizes. He offers no solution to anything that, at the end of sum up what he's saying, he offers no solution to that. 1 minute he wants to be a child advocate, and the next minute he wants to hang out with killers. You know what I mean? And brag about people who've killed other people in regards to how tough he might be as an individual based on the people that he's affiliated with or something that he might have done in the past. And like I said, it's like for a lot of us African American males, our future might look good, but sometimes our background is killing us. You know what I mean? Some of the things we have done in the past, whether it's, selling drugs, whatever else, that we might have been involved in. And now we're trying to make a change in our lives. And so I think that's the thing that's detrimental about Charleston White. He doesn't have any solutions. He doesn't offer anything substantive. He doesn't offer any change. It's just a bunch of niggas, a bunch of bitches, a bunch of hoes, a bunch of, all of this, thing that he's coming up with. And it really doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. And so anybody that he can criticize and mention their name, right, he'll do it for views. Charleston White does not have any talent. None. Zero. He came on the scene, from the front seat of his car, and I guess if you want to say that, that's the come up, he came up, and Charleston White is X, Y, blah, 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 okay. I'm waiting to hear what kind of answers, or should I say solutions, to some of the problems that he criticizes that he has. And I haven't heard anything. All I've heard is criticism for cash. You know what I mean? And so from that perspective, like I said, if I don't really have nothing good to say about a certain situation, I wouldn't speak on it. I wouldn't speak on Dwayne Wade's child. That's his business. You know what I mean? But I will say this: once your information is disseminated to the public by you or otherwise, and you want people to feel a certain kind of way because they may have been criticizing whatever your situation, then people are going to openly talk about it. So like I said, if you don't want people to talk about your business, don't tell them. Because people make up excuses and reasons as to why they should do that. And so, yeah, like I said, a lot of stuff, Charleston White says he's definitely on point. But at the end of the day, Charleston White is a detriment to the black community. Ain't nothing savory about that guy. You know what I mean? And like I said, once again, 1 minute, he wants to tout this gangster thing. And then the next minute, he telling you, he calling 911. You know what I mean? So that right there, that shit's so convoluted, if you will. Now we got people, respecting the fact that Charleston White telling you he gonna call 911. So it's like, let me throw all of these threats and all of this, bad energy out and so on and so forth. I can say all of these things because he knows that some of the people that he talking to don't live by that code where they will call the police on him. But he's saying that I can say whatever I want to you. I can threaten you. I can do this and I can do that. But when you come back and you say the same thing to me, I'm calling the police on you. Right? And because a lot of these people's status, the law enforcement is quick to react because, number one, it's going to garner a lot of attention. You know what I mean? Number two, whatever that person's stance has been, prior to that, like Boosie or somebody like that, him having little run-ins with law enforcement, so on and so forth. Now it's like this gotcha thing. So I can understand why Boosie wouldn't really, kind of entertain all of that. You know what I mean? And so from that perspective, I totally get it. I understand it. And so that's the reason why I say it's like Charleston White is this provocateur. Let me throw the stone, throw the stone, throw the stone. Hide my hand. You throw the stone at me. He threw a stone at me. I'm calling the police. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's the reason why I said he's a detriment to the black community. And there was one thing that he came up and said, well, what these rappers is saying and so on and so forth. And he's right about that. A lot of times, we not, I wouldn't say we as a community of artists and things like that, but a lot of the stuff that we speak on is detrimental to our community. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to shoot him. I'm going to, True. So like I said, I give, Charleston White that. And so, and it seems as if, and I'll go with Brother Nuri Muhammad just recently. Basically, it seems as if these are the people that are getting the deals, right? But see, to contrast Charleston White and Nuri Muhammad, like when Nuri comes on and he speaks, right? He's going to offer a solution, right? Or some kind of a pathway through what's going on or understanding of that Charleston White wouldn't be able to articulate and be taken seriously from that perspective. So if I can give you the two sides of that argument, Brother Nuri Muhammad, Charleston White, it's night and day, right? And once again, the presentation, the appearance, the articulation of what's being said from that perspective, right? Now, there's a way to go about doing that, but Charleston White is not trying to offer any kind of positive advice or anything like that. He's basically saying, fuck these niggas, But if they come back, I'm dialing 911. Oh, wow. So it's best not even to respond to anything that he's saying when he says something back to you. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever, man. You know what I mean? And let him go on about his business, because once again, he's basically talking about people who have success, who have real talents. Dwayne Wade, basketball star. Lil Boosie, rap star. Who else? T.I., rap superstar. Actor, so on and so forth. So all of these people have talent and things that they've been celebrated for from that perspective, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. But for the most part, that's how people got to know them, based on their talent. And here you have a guy in Charleston White who has no talent at all. None. Zero. And he can come up and he can criticize somebody and say something about somebody, as well as them, as their family members, and he has no filter, right? But as soon as he feels like something is being said about him or something's coming at him in the wrong way, he gonna call 911. Or he's gonna threaten to, shoot somebody or something like that. Now, I've heard that many a times. But you've heard none of the people that he's threatened to put a bullet in. And some of them have honestly threatened him too. You know what I mean? And so on and so forth. You've heard none of those people do that. But as soon as they say something to Charleston about that, Charleston said, I'm calling the police on you. And that's the reason why I think Bootsy felt like, Charleston was so dangerous from that perspective, and he wouldn't say anything back to him in regards to him or deal with him from that perspective. And it's kind of sad, and I think it's irresponsible, to even ask anybody how they feel about Charleston White, because he's really a non-factor. I mean, based on what? Mentioning people's names who've had success, who've been celebrated in their specific endeavor, field, or profession, right? And that's what I feel about Charleston White. Like I said, Charleston White gonna be Charleston White. But I told you once again, Charleston White is not a feature film. He is the movie of the week. Your boy DELRAY, straight gang.